We are talking timeline shifts. We are talking about dimensions, consciousness, and where you may be right now as we end October 2024. Let's dive in. My name's Marissa. Welcome to the channel. I'm a channeler of all sorts. I read the Akashic records, I channel galactic beings, and overall, I love to be here as a messenger connecting you with the cosmos and all that you are. So there is a guide named Yak Yell who is a Pleiadian being and has been tapping at me the past few days to do a video on timelines. I have no idea what's going to come forward in this video. However, I do know that they have been very persistent in letting me know that I need to film this video. So, if you enjoy this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give it a big thumbs up. You can check out my website if you'd want to work with me and receive your own channeled message, light language transmission, or Akashic Records reading. And yeah, listen to the podcast if you haven't. Earth to Marissa podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And let's go. Okay, I'm gonna be channeling Yak Yell. And in order to get into that state, I quiet my mind. And then we will begin. Let's go ahead and do that. The trajectory of Earth has changed several times in the past few months, and Yak Yell wants to bring these messages forward to let us know that it really is truly our choice on where we want to move forward. There are several dimensions on Earth right now that are beneficial for Earth's growth. And these dimensions are being seen. They are starting to be seen by us, whether it's through us connecting in and tapping into them in our dream state, or through meditation, or if we are starting to see things that we previously have not been able to before. This is simply just our awareness and our consciousness coming to a state where we are better able to sit in the multidimensionality that we are. We have reached a very new frequency on the planet, or rather, individuals are reaching a very high frequency that has not been resonated or felt with on the planet in a very, very long time. We're talking tens of thousands of years. This frequency is igniting the codes within us that open our multidimensionality and abilities to see into and beyond this physical realm. If you have been awakening to this new frequency, you have been feeling absolutely ecstatic, elated. You've been feeling just this pureness in your energy. You've been feeling this expansion happen rapidly, and you have been able to hold this frequency through the rough waters, if you will. It's going to be easier for you to hold density because your frequency is of this high vibration. We are starting to tap into Pleiadian codes within our own being, even more Lyran codes, Arcturian codes. We are tapping into Andromeda codes. We are tapping into even star races that aren't yet quite known on the planet right now. We are tapping into these DNA structures within ourselves. And as we become more coded in our light beings, we are able to then traverse timelines with more ease. As a collective, as we continue to grow and expand on a molecular and cellular level, collectively, we are really able to manipulate the timelines, and the timelines become a bit more malleable to us. And so Yak Yell really wants to encourage us to create right now, hold this truest vision of how we want the earth to be, because as we come into these codes, in order for them to fully anchor in, they need to be used. And so how can we use these codes? By creating, and use these codes, help them to anchor and integrate by creating the world that we want, the reality that is here for us. And so it's this encouragement to really see what you want and call it in. Call it in and know that the frequency you are holding right now is helping to bring that timeline in. Raise your frequency. Sit in silence with the intention to raise your frequency. Go to bed with the intention of raising your frequency. Speak with the intention of raising your frequency. Interact with the intention of raising your frequency. The more you can intentionally use your day-to-day activities to raise your vibration, the more that these light codes are able to come in and work with your body in a harmonious way, a more gentle way, and then activate and fully integrate as you put them to use. There are 3 big timelines that Earth is on right now. And you can see these are pretty divided. You can see them quite clear, and she wants to remind us that just because we can see them does not mean that we are living that timeline. It does not mean that they are happening. And she's bringing through some light language to help us anchor in to the most highest vibrational timeline for the good of all humanity. Clearing the densities from your field. It's a kiamoto koya chiki niete kia te kia odiete nyoto koya mate esikia. Ete kia mochokotea shikia niete kia woto koya watakia. Ete kia moto koya shikia niete kia wata koya sekia mata kia te enyate kia ashe nyoto ko etsikiawa. Ete kia a. Uta kia moto koya te kia mata kia wata enyate kia. She's restructuring your current auric field and vibration around you to welcome in more light and remove the densities that are holding you into these lower timelines. Shukia mata e te ikia nyoto ko a sekia mata e shiki ete nyate kia wata oya seki ama. Ete kia te e shika nyoto kolatre e te kia oto nyoto ke ama seki echi nyate ki a ayat oya kiama. Ete kuya nyamata e seki ate ku nyate kia a. Ete ku oya shikia mata e seki ate nleret ayate kuya mata e seki ia. Uta kia mata kuya te ki anyate kia wata kia mata kia we. Take a few deep breaths. She's grounding everyone's energy now. live by today. Live in today and today only. Humans oftentimes get very stressed out and end up creating a negative future from thinking of the worst future. It's important to create from the present moment, to create from this place of spaciousness and openness in the now. If you are thinking of the worst possibility, you are not creating from your now present moment. If you are thinking of a future, whether it is beautiful and grand or negative and harmful, it is important that you realize you are creating outside of the now, which leads only to a disharmony in the creation. Hold your power in the now and feel your solar plexus ignite. Ignite with this knowledge that is streaming in for you, and ignite with your inner fire, and feel your sacral buzz as it creates, as it presents this creation that you hold. Embody the creator. Embody the timeline that you know is possible for yourself. There are many angels and guides right now that are supporting the planet and supporting you. Call upon them. Call upon their strength. Call upon their wisdom. And allow them to fully come in and support you. In the place of converging timelines and moving timelines, ascending timelines, however you view it, the place in order to do so is in the now moment. It is fully in your present moment, and we ask that you please bring presence into your life. If you are struggling, bring yourself into the present. Cultivate this sense of peace, harmony, and expansion in the present, and see how your future is then created, how things start coming to you magically and rapidly. Yak Yell is creating a grid between her and all of those that are watching this in all time, space, reality. And this grid connects us to this remembrance and this higher knowing that is held in the Pleiadian codes that she is creating in the center of this grid. And know that this is a grid of light. I can feel some of you resisting being connected to this grid. It is a grid of light. And allow these Pleiadian codes to connect to you through this grid. And breathe as you feel them download into your system. I get this sense of like an open heart space, gentleness and ease feeling in my chest. I feel this sense of relaxation and happiness. And allow this frequency to bring you into these higher vibrational timelines. You attract the timeline in which you reflect. You attract the timeline in which you reflect out. So the energy that you send out is constantly attracting any and all vibrations that are a resonant match to that. Just breathe and continue soaking in this wisdom that Yak Yell is giving to us through the grid. Shekianyete sikiato yama sekianyete kiawa shekiama sekianyete kiawa. Ese nyete tianyete kiawa shokoyama te nyete kiawa te enyate tianyato koya shekiama sekianyete kiawa. Sui. Sui. Timelines are ever changing, and we are moving rapidly as a planet and a consciousness. What you once felt a month ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, may no longer be the case. What we have been told by the powers that were 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a month ago, may no longer be the case. Start to question and reframe what you once knew, because it is no longer, or it may not be prevalent today. This is why presence and checking in with your presence is so important. What do you believe, feel, think in the present moment, regardless of what you once thought? Tune in and constantly check yourself in the present moment. We can change the trajectory at any time. We are the creators. The power is in our hands. Thank you, Yak Yell, for these beautiful messages, transmissions, and energies. Absolutely grateful for you. She said she is grateful for all of us taking the time to sit in this frequency. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And continue breathing into this present moment. I love what she said there at the end about checking what we believe in the present moment, because our beliefs in the past, we might still be running them and running those programs. However, our reality has completely shifted. And so it creates this disharmony or this imbalance in our present moment, because we are still attached to that belief or that way of thinking or viewing the world. However, our reality is completely different, and we might be on a timeline where that very thing doesn't even exist. Where, this is a really good example, where our waters, with the pollution of the planet that we have seen in the past, it would be easy to assume that our waters are toxic. However, we on an individual level are rapidly changing timelines, and as we come into this new frequency that she was talking about at the beginning of the video, this new frequency shifts the dimension in which we reside, the timeline in which we reside, and therefore the waters might be completely clear and healthy. In that we can literally do that if all of us collectively held the vision of clean water, a healthy ocean, beautiful, crisp, and clean rivers. If we all collectively held that, we would jump to the timeline in which that exists. And so she's saying that that timeline does exist. Some of you have maybe reached it. However, that thought, that belief, because we can see in between all the timelines, in between everything, because we are multidimensional, so we still have a part of us where we remember the pollution and might be continuing to believe that. However, our reality might exist in a completely different space. Let me know if you understand that. Big thoughts. So yeah, if you have questions, go ahead and comment below. If you enjoyed this video, I would love to hear what you think about these topics. These are very big quantum thoughts and messages that were received today, and I know that they activated you and fully brought you into this space of awakening into the love that you are. I know that was just Yak Yell's intention before we even started the video, as I connected with her. And I am sending you so much love. Again, my website is below. Check out the podcast. Follow me on Instagram if you wish to connect. And much love. Bye for now.